Holy. You see these footprints? They're gigantic. Well, nobody's been back here in a while. I think these are moose tracks. They come here every once in a while. Those are some really big hooves. Yeah, they have to be hoof tracks. Not very often, but sometimes there's a moose here and there. They're going that way. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the glacial expanses of the forest. I just wanted to bring you back here to the Hobbit house building site to show you how things are going at the moment and explain why the building has been stopped for so many months. But before we begin, I just wanted to give an update for the channel. You see, as you can see now, you can't see my face. I have wanted to show my face. I never wanted my full face to be seen, mostly because of the Hobbit house here. I never wanted its location to be known, so I didn't want any people to see me and be able to find the location. Might seem a bit complicated, but you never know. So I've just kept my face covered this whole time, but it's been a bit difficult filming without a face. It's really difficult. You see how I have to make hand gestures and stuff because you can't see my face. So I found a loophole to it. For my birthday, I got something that can allow me to show my face and yet not show my face at the same time. And that is a very nice piece of gear for my eyes. Some sunglasses. So here I am. How do you do, everyone? And that's good for the channel, because now I can sit and talk, which was pretty difficult without a face. So I can sit here, talk while sitting on a stump, things like that. So let's get to the subject of the video. You see, this is the dig site of the Hobbit house, and as you can see, it is very snowy, and the ground gets really solid here in the winter. Like, you'd have to take a pick to it in order to get anywhere with it. So it's unfortunate, but we actually have to wait for I don't know, maybe 2 more months in order to even start, and then it's best to wait until the sand dries out. So I don't know, it might take a while in order to get back to digging. So that's going to take a lot of waiting. So I wanted to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Just quickly lay out some plans for it, so that you don't have to wait until it's finished in order to see what it is going to look like. I can't give away all of the surprises, mostly because I don't know what it'll really look like yet. I don't actually have it completely planned out. We don't know exactly how to build it yet. There's almost no information on how to do this. So we're just sort of going as we go, but we have a general idea, and I'm going to show that to you right now. Alright, so what we already know about how we're going to build this is it's going to be this way. It's going to run 20 feet in width, and it's going to go back into the hill 18 feet or so. Maybe it'll change once we start digging more, but we're not fully sure on that yet. But we know it's going to be somewhere in the range of 20 by 18. Or is it 18 by 20? And since this is a Hobbit house, there's a little bit of difference to the design. It is quite different. This was all dug to ground level last year. That's as far as we got before we had to stop. But it's got to be dug more. Next spring when it thaws, that's when we have to start digging more. You see, it's dug to 3 feet down right here. That trench is 3 feet down, and that's how deep the hole. Oh, I'm just falling in. That's how deep the whole hole has to be. It has to be dug out. Once it's dug, that's when construction will begin. And that's what the sandbags are for. We're going to build the walls out of sandbags. And then when the walls are built, the roof will be put on it. And that's the most difficult thing, is the roof. The roof design is going to be kind of experimental. Now this is the odd part. It's not going to be one story. It's going to have a loft in the back. So it'll be like 1.5 story. It'll have a little loft, and that's where the bedrooms and things will be. And so this part of it has to be lower than that part of it, whilst still looking natural. The whole roof is going to be covered in dirt, at least a thin layer, so that it can be camouflaged and green and have stuff growing on top of it like a Hobbit house. And so this front wall here is going to be about 7 feet tall from the ground level. So it's 3 feet down, so the front wall is going to be 10 feet tall. Then you need to go another 7 feet or so in the back, and so the back has to be 17 feet tall or 18 feet tall. And that way they'll be able to have at least a little, I don't know if it'll be a full door, but there'll at least be a little hatch that you can get out in the back if needed, so that you have a back door, so it's not just into the hill. It's going to be some kind of multi-story Hobbit house. And that's about the basics that we know about. It's all just a work in progress. You have to build it as you go, because as I said, there's almost no instructions that I know of, at least, on how to do any of this, you know. Well, I know, but there's some instructions on earthbag walls, so at least there's that, but the roof is going to be experimental. The underground, building underground with the earthbags is going to be experimental, so this is all really an experiment. The walls will be coated with a clay or something in order to... Helicopters I hear. Even here. You know, might have to build our own door, and everything's going to have to be custom made, and everything is really going to have to be done by hand, because also there isn't any electricity. So back here yet, we're going to have to get electricity. That's going to be another part of the process, but we might not have it for a while we're back here. And take a pipe, but I think we're going to have to do a tank where you fill the tank, you put the tank because, you put the tank in the ground, you fill it with water. When it runs out, you fill it with water again from the main well. That seems like the simplest thing to do. Maybe it'll even be at the top of the hill and it'll be gravity fed down into the Hobbit house sink. And so it'll have gravity fed as well as electric fed so that if the power goes out, it can still run. There's a lot of things, a lot of potential for all sorts of things that can be done with this. So it's going to be really interesting come this spring. That's not all we're going to be doing, because there is another thing that you're going to see very soon, another part. Yeah, we have another thing to build. Oh, okay. You there? My camera died. So now I have to remember what I was saying before. It died while I was talking, and I only noticed once I went to make the video, so now I have to come back out here. So that's why the sun is gone. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's not the only thing we're building. We're not just going to build this. There's something else that you're going to see soon. It's rather exciting, really. So there's lots of things to get done, that's for sure, next year. Well, I mean this year, but I don't consider it next year until the snow melts, because nothing can really get done right now. Because it's suddenly really cold here. The snow is like really hard. It's like a glacier. I've never quite seen anything else like it. But anyway, starting in the spring, there will be lots of things to get done, and I'll take you along with me and show you all that we're going to get done, and it should be a fun process. And I'll be watching all of your channels in the meantime, and while I'm doing it. And if there's anyone who is watching this who doesn't have a channel and maybe would like to start a channel, feel free to. Just tell me and I'll definitely go check it out and watch it and subscribe. This is all a community we're part of. We're all part of a community here, and we all help out the community with what we do. Oh, and speaking of videos, I just remembered, I'd like to give a shout out to one of the people who I know is a subscriber of mine, and he must be, even though I can't publicly see it. Tsalagi Bushcraft. Oh, he just changed his name. He just changed his channel name to Native Tongue. So go check out Native Tongue if you want. He's a nice guy. He talks about, he does bushcrafting, and then he goes into the woods and sits down and makes a fire and talks about Native American legends is what he's been doing lately. So he likes to talk about the different Cherokee Native American legends. It's really interesting stuff. So go check out his channel if you want. That's a shout out. So that's all about for now. I'll see you next time, and feel free to leave a comment, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, I suppose. And if you want to see what happens, that'd be a good thing to do. I look forward to seeing you again next time. And so, until then,